नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्
ततो जयमुदीरये
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 1. First one, it is Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. So first is the invocation prayer. Just like first canto, first chapter, first verse was the Gayatri invocation. So here also that invocation was done by Vyasadeva, and here the invocation is done by Srila Sukadeva Goswami. So Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 1, invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Translation, please repeat out. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Om, oh my Lord.
Om, O my Lord.
ओम
My respectful obeisances unto you.
Nama, my respectful obeisances unto you.
Bhagavate,
respectful obedience unto you.
Bhagavate, unto the personality of Godhead.
Bhagavate, unto the personality of Godhead.
भगवते unto the personality of Godhead.
Vasudevaya, unto Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva.
Vasudevaya, unto Lord Krishna, the son of
वासुदेवाय
Vasudeva.
unto Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva.
Translation, please repeat after me. O my Lord.
O my Lord.
The all
Oh my Lord.
personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
The all-pervading personality of Godhead,
The
I offer my
all-pervading
respectful
personality of
obeisances unto
Godhead,
you.
I offer my respectful obeisance unto you.
Purport.
Vasudevaya means to
Purport.
Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Since by chanting the name of Krishna, Vasudev, one can achieve all the good results of charity, austerity, and penances, it is to be understood that by the chanting of this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the author or the speaker or any one of the readers of Srimad Bhagavatam is offering respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna, the reservoir of all pleasure. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the principles of creation are described, and thus the first canto may be called creation. Similarly, in the second canto, the post creation cosmic manifestation is described. The different planetary systems are described in the second canto as different parts of the universal body of the Lord. For this reason, the second canto may be called the cosmic manifestation. There are 10 chapters in the second canto, and in these 10 chapters, the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam and the different symptoms of this purpose are narrated. The first chapter describes the glories of chanting, and it hints at the process by which the neophyte devotees may perform meditation on the universal form of the Lord. In the first verse, Sukadeva Goswami replies to the questions of Maharaja Parikshit, who asked him about one's duties at the point of death. Maharaja Parikshit was glad to receive Sukadeva Goswami, and he was proud of being a descendant of Arjuna, the intimate friend of Krishna. Personally, he was very humble and meek, but he expressed his gladness that Lord Krishna was very kind to his grandfathers, the sons of Pandu, especially his own grandfather Arjuna. And because Lord Krishna was always pleased with Maharaja Parikshit's family, at the verse of Maharaja Parikshit's death, Sukadeva Goswami was sent to help him in the process of self realization. Maharaja Parikshit was a devotee of Lord Krishna from his childhood, so he had natural affection for Krishna. Sukadeva Goswami could understand his devotion. Therefore, he welcomed the questions about the king's duty. Because the king hinted that worship of Lord Krishna is the ultimate function of every living entity. Sukadeva Goswami welcomed this suggestion and said, because you have raised questions about Krishna, your question is most glorious. The translation of the first verse is as follows.
Hari Om Tat Sat. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमाते जयपताक स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथा दामधाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिहराय नमः कृष्ण यादवाय नमः हरे Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudanam. Mukam karo divacharam pangurungai degirim kripatamam desri gurundina taranam paramanandam Sri Chaitanyameshwaram. Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Parishit Maharaj, I've several times spoken. He had only 7 days to meet his death. He was a young man, but some way or other he was cursed by a Brahmana boy, not a Brahmana, that he would meet death within 7 days. And this is Vedic culture. That before death one should prepare very nicely to go back to Godhead. That is called a Sanskriti or culture. The modern civilization, they don't know what is going to happen after death. But our Vedic culture is not so blind. Vedic culture has got an aim. What is the aim of human life? There is no aimless life like animals. Aimless life is animal life. They have no aim. By the laws of nature, they are going on, transforming from one body to another, and ultimately they are coming by evolutionary process to the human form of life by the mercy of Krishna, where the karma begins. And especially this civilized human form of life is very responsible life. So one has to make his choice whether he wants to continue his materialistic way of life and change the body one after another. That's very risky, of course. You should always remember that if in my next body I am given a body like a tree, just see how condemned life it is. They're standing in the snowfall. They're standing in the hot sun. They're standing in the rain. You have got a house. You are protecting yourself. They cannot even move. So there is possibility of getting such a very precarious life also. So we should be so much responsible how to avoid such laws of nature. We can have any form of life out of 8,400,000 species that Guru Maharaj said in yesterday's class also. You should always remember that if by chance I slip to one of them, then how I wasted my time. So this is responsible life. Labdva sudurlabam idam bahu sambhavante, Bhagavatam says. Because after many births and death, one achieves the rarely human manusha durlabam manusham janma. So rare human form of life, which although temporary, but at least it affords one the opportunity to attain the highest perfection ever possible, which is not possible in any other species in the 8,400,000 species. Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life. As long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died, he should immediately progress to become Krishna conscious. After all, sense gratification is available even in the most abominable species of life. But Krishna consciousness is possible only in human being. So we must understand how rare is this opportunity. Bahu sambhavante means after many appearances, this is appearance. This body, present body, is one of the appearances. It will never appear again. I'll have to, or you will have to appear in a different body. But this human form of life is great opportunity. Bahu sambhavante. Bahu means many, and sambhava means appearance. After many appearances, we have got this. Labdva sudurlabam. Sudurlabam. Su means very costly. Durlabam means to gain with great difficulty. So this is responsibility. And this responsibility must be there in the human form of life. Labdva sudurlabam nidam bahu sambhavante. After many appearances. And what is this? After many appearances, what are we getting? Manusya, man, human form of body, artadam. And we can achieve a great success in this life. This is the clue given. So, one may think that now we are young men, young boys and girls. Let's enjoy life. And that facility is very much easy to obtain in everywhere today, in India, in America, everywhere today. Western culture has been brought into great changes here in the schools, in colleges or society, young boys and girls. They got ample facility for enjoying material life. And Bhagavata says that no, you should immediately try for the ultimate success of your life. Don't spoil. Don't spoil your life. If we become absorbed in the thoughts of materialistic way of enjoyment, which namely sex, then naturally we have to take birth again in another form of body, maybe human, may not be human. But unless we purify our mind and consciousness, we must have to accept the material body one after another. And if we accept a material body, then all the miserable conditions that we are undergoing with this body will have to accept it in any body. So this is not pessimistic view of life, but this is a fact. Only responsible persons, they can understand. Sanatana Goswami was minister of government, prime minister. His choice society was very aristocratic, very rich man they were. So rich society, aristocratic society could not satisfy. They resigned the post and joined Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for ultimate solution of life. These examples are many, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciples, direct disciples, they were all very important men, just like six Goswamis, even Swarup Damodar, his private secretary. He was very learned man, Vedantist. And next to his secretary, the six Goswamis, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami. They were very, very important rich men of that time. Raghunath Das Goswami happened to be the son of a very big landlord, zamindar. That after father's income was 1,200,000 of rupees in those days, 500 years ago. And he was the only son of his father and uncle. So he didn't like to enjoy the father's property, but he joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is known as Raghunath Dasa Goswami. Similarly, Rupa Sanatana Goswami also joined. They were also very rich men, important men. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, very learned scholar and philosophers. He was the nephew of Rupa Goswami, of course. So they were all very important men of the society. They joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to make life successful. So these examples we should take and make our life successful. And the successful life means to make our consciousness change into Krishna consciousness. That is called success. Labdva sudurlabam idambahu sambhavante. We have got this after many, many births, manushyam, this human form of life. Therefore, the Shastra says, Turnam etete. I am very glad you all taking up to this Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness is the greatest boon of life. Turnam yateta. Shastra says very quickly you should try to finish this business here. Because Parikshit Maharaj, he was aware that he was going to live for 7 days. But we don't know whether our life is still for 7 days or 7 minutes. Any moment, death may come. There is no guarantee. Don't think that in old age we shall take up this business of Krishna consciousness. And by the example of Parikshit Maharaja, we can take the lesson that we don't know when we shall die. But before death, we have to become competent in Krishna consciousness. What is that competency? 24 hours, both day and night, always thinking of Krishna. That's all. That is competency. So Parikshit Maharaj, at the last stage of life, he got the association of a big Krishna conscious personality, Sukadeva Goswami. So he asked him, so if a person here is very sincere, then Krishna gives Guru. Krishna is sending the Guru. Somehow or the other is making an arrangement to meet the Guru. Krishna will give that. The perfect Guru for a perfect disciple is awarded by Krishna actually. It's not that we search. If Parikshit Maharaj was to select a Guru amongst all those great sages, whom would he select? Do you know? He himself doesn't know. How will you know? So we are conditioned souls. We are dependent on Krishna for Guru. Once we get the Guru by the mercy of Krishna, then we are depending on Guru for everything eternally. Then we can serve Krishna by the mercy of Guru. Guru Krishna Kripa Paye Bhakti Lata Beche. So Sukadeva Goswami was sent by Krishna, despite there were so many rishis. And Parikshit Maharaj was very sincere in his heart to become the Krishna conscious person. So Krishna, he knows he is Antaryami, he is Paramatma, he knows. So he does not want Parikshit Maharaj to be putting into confusion of which guru is correct and whose instruction I should follow. So none of the assembled sages, starting from Vyasadev, including Narad Muni, was selected by Krishna. So Krishna sent Sukadeva Goswami there. Just see. So we don't know. There may be very wonderful, wonderful guru. Sukadeva Goswami's guru is Vyasadeva and Vyasadev's guru is Narad Muni, and both were present there. Just see. But still, Sukadeva Goswami knows who is the perfect guru for the perfect disciple. So for Parikshit Maharaj, Krishna sent Sukadeva Goswami. And immediately he asked him, "My dear sir, I am now going to die. So what's my duty? Please tell." So Parikshit Maharaj was born in a family of the Pandus. He is the grandson of Arjuna, Arjuna's son Abhimanyu, of course. He died in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Everyone joined, so he also joined. He was 16-year-old boy at the time, Abhimanyu, but he was married. Fortunately, he was married. And when he went in the battlefield, fortunately, his wife was pregnant. And this Parikshit Maharaj was the posthumous child. He was born after the death of his father. He could not see his father. His grandfathers raised him. All the boys died of the whole family in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Only these 5 brothers remained alive. And this child was in the womb of his mother. Otherwise, the members of the whole Kuru family died in the battle. It was such a big fight, world war. So this child was also hit by atomic energy, Brahmastra, but Krishna saved him. Krishna wanted that the descendant of my devotee, they must prolong. They were very good family, Krishna conscious family. Krishna wants to give protection to the Krishna conscious men family that you know from the Bhagavad Gita. So this child was saved even in the womb of his mother by Krishna. So Krishna, he also could save him, but when the king was cursed by a Brahmana boy, but Parikshit Maharaj did not like the idea. He took it very seriously that I have offended the Brahmana and he has cursed me. That is nice, you see how much liberal he was. So he accepted. Immediately he prepared for death. So after all, he was a great devotee. In his childhood, he was playing with Radha Krishna deity, just like our Krishna conscious children has this opportunity. Even Srila Prabhupada's father gave him deities in his childhood. And Prabhupada had to serve Radha Krishna from childhood. So as such, he asked Sukadeva Goswami to hear about Krishna, although he was very much anxious to know about his duty, but he was thinking that my only duty is to think of Krishna at this stage. Therefore, he asked his spiritual master whether I shall hear about Krishna in this last point of my death. So, Sukadeva Goswami was very glad that this king is already anxious. I was just going to advise him to think of Krishna, but I see that he is already anxious to think of Krishna. Wow. He's always thinking because from the childhood he was playing. From the womb of his mother he saw Krishna. So after his birth he was searching after that figure who saved me. Therefore his name was Parikshit. He was examiner. So many, he was royal family child. Many people were present after his birth. He was looking after where is that form, Krishna. Therefore, his name is Parikshit. So when he inquired from Sukadeva Goswami that if I can hear about Krishna, so Sukadeva Goswami immediately replied. Let us see what Sukadeva Goswami is speaking. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Verse 1. This is the first verse. What we saw is invocation. Okay. Sri Sukha Uvacha.
श्रीशुगौवाच
Variyan Esha Te Prashna.
वर्यम् एष ते प्रश्ना
Kruto Lokahitam Nrupa.
कृतो लोकहितं नृपा
Atma Vitsamatha Paurumsam.
आत्मवित् समत्थपुंसाम्
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
श्रीसुक उवाच
श्रीशुक उवाच
वरीयान् एष ते प्रश्ना
पर्याङ्गे सत्तप्रसना
कृतो लोकहितं नृप
कृतो लोकं हितं नृप
आत्मवित्समथ पुंसाम्
आत्मवित्समत्तपुंसाम्
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
श्रीसुक उवाच
श्रीशुक उवाच
श्रीशुक उवाच
वरीयान् एष ते प्रश्ना
पर्याङ्गेश ते प्रश्नः
कृतो लोकहितं नृप
कृतो लोकहितं
कृतो लोकहितं नृप
आत्मवित्समथ पुंसाम्
आत्मवित्
आत्मवित्सम्मपुंसाम्
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
Yeah. Anyone recite once?
श्रीशुक उवाच
श्रीशुक उवाच
वर्यानेश ते प्रश्ना
वर्याण्येष ते प्रश्ना
कृतो लोकहितं नृप
कृतो लोकहितं
कृतो लोकहितं नृप
आत्मवित् सम्मतः पुंसाम्
आत्मवित्सम्मता पुंसाम्
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
श्रोतव्यादिषु यः परा
Tinanin. Sri Sukha Uvacha, Sri Sukadeva Goswami said,
श्रीशुक उवाच
श्रीशुक
श्री
उवाच
गोस्वामी
said,
said
Varyan, glorious,
वर्यान्
yeah, glorious,
Esha,
good,
this,
ईशा दिश
te, your,
ते योर
Prashna, question,
प्रश्न questions
Krita, made by you,
कृता by you
Lokahitam, beneficial for all men,
लोकहितं beneficial for all men
Nrupa, O king,
नृप O king
Atmavit, transcendentalist,
आत्मवित् transcendentalist
Samatha, approved,
samata proud,
proof
Pumsam of all men,
pumsam,
punsam of all men
amin,
Srotavya Adishu, in all kinds of hearing,
Shrotapat Adishu
all kinds of
kinds
hearing,
of hearing
yeah, what is,
yeah,
Ya
what is,
Para, the supreme.
para,
Para
the supreme,
Supreme
Translation, please repeat after me. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said,
Sri
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said,
said,
My dear king, your question is glorious because it's very beneficial to all kinds of people.
my dear
my dear
king,
king, your
your
question is
question
glorious
is
because
yes,
it's very
because
beneficial
it
to
is
all kinds
very
of people.
beneficial to all kinds of people.
The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing.
The
The
answer to
answer
this
to
question is
this
the prime
question is
subject
the
matter
prime
for
subject
hearing,
matter for hearing,
And it is approved by all transcendentalists.
and it is approved by all
approved by
transcendentalists.
all transcendentalists.
Purport.
Purpose. Even the very question is so nice that it is the best subject matter for hearing. Simply by such questioning and hearing, one can achieve the highest perfectional stage of life. Because Lord Krishna is question about him is original and perfect. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the highest perfection of life is to achieve the transcendental loving service of Krishna. Because questions and answers about Krishna elevate one to that transcendental position, the questions of Maharaja Parikshit about Krishna philosophy are greatly glorified. Maharaja Parikshit wanted to absorb his mind completely in Krishna, and such absorption can be effected simply by hearing about the uncommon activities of Krishna. For instance, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that
Thank you.
and never come back to this miserable condition of material existence. It is very auspicious, therefore, to hear always about Krishna. So Maharaja Parikshit requested Shukadev Goswami to narrate the activities of Krishna so that he could engage his mind in Krishna. The activities of Krishna are non-different from Krishna himself. As long as one is engaged in hearing such transcendental activities of Krishna, he remains aloof from the conditional life of material existence. The topics of Lord Krishna are so auspicious that they purify the speaker, the hearer, and the inquirer. They are compared to the Ganges waters which flow from the toe of Lord Krishna. Wherever the Ganges waters go, they purify the land and the person who bathes in them. Similarly, Krishna Katha or the topics of Krishna are so pure that wherever they are spoken, the place, the hearer, the inquirer, the speaker, and all concerned become purified.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So wonderful, you see. Hmm. So, Krishna question and answers. They are very important. That in future, these questions and answers will be discussed in the human society. Actually, it is being done already, started by Srila Prabhupada here. We are all discussing the same incidents now. And he said, Atmavit Samatha Pumsam. This question is so authorized that Atmavit, those who are interested in self-realization, they have got their approval. Yes, this is nice question. Atmavit Samatha. Samatha means approved. It's not bogus question. It is an approved question. This sort of question should be inquired. Krishna, about Krishna. And if you speak about Krishna, the whole world is full with questions and answers anyway. So these questions and answers are approved by Atmavit, those who are self-realized, not bodily realized. Atmavit. There are two classes of men. 99.99% they are bodily realized men, always thinking of the body. And just there is another class. They are called Atmavit, the self-realized personalities, Krishna conscious personalities. Atmavit Samatha Pumsam Srotavyadishu Yapara. Srotavya means worth hearing. There are many kinds of subject matter for hearing, but this is the sublime subject matter of hearing, Krishna Prashna. So this is a very beautiful words, the approved question. Just see. So question and answer about Krishna, Srotavyadishu Yapara. Para means sublime and Srotavya means worthwhile hearing. So why it is para, sublime? Because that is coming in the next verse. So let us see what is in the why it is sublime. That is given here. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 2. Srotavyadini Rajendra Nrinam Santi Sahasrasa
Nirnam Santi Sahasrasa
Apashyatham Tattvam
Apasyatam Atmatattvam
Griheshu Grihamedinam
Grihesu Grihametinam
Srotavyadini Rajendra
Srotavyadini Rajendra
Nrinam Santi Sahasrasa
Nirnam Santi Sahasrasa
अपश्यताम् आत्मतत्त्वम्
अपश्यतामात्मतत्त्वम्
गृहेषु गृहमेदिनाम्
गृहेषु
गृहेषु
गृहमेधिनाम्
गृहमेधिनाम्
श्रोतव्यादीनि राजेन्द्र
श्रोतवियादिनि राजेन्द्र
नृणां सन्ति सहस्रशः
नृणां सन्ति सकस्रश
अपश्यतामात्मतत्त्वम्
अपश्यतामात्मतत्त्वम्
आत्मतत्त्वम्
गृहेषु गृहमेदिनाम्
गृहेषु
गृहेषु
गृहमेधिनाम्
गृहमेधिनाम्
Anyone recite once?
श्रोतव्यद्रिनि राजेन्द्र
श्रोतव्यादीनि राजेन्द्र
नृणां शान्ति सकस्रशा
नृणां शान्ति
सन्ति
सहस्रशः
सहस्रशः
अप्स्यातम् आत्मतत्त्वम्
अपश्यताम्
यथाम्
आत्मतत्त्वम्
आत्मतत्त्वम्
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
गृहेषु
गृहेषु गृहमेधिनाम्
गृहमेदिनाम्. Synonyms: Srotavya adini, subject matters for hearing.
श्रोतव्य आदि
Adini,
subject matters
subject
for
matters for
hearing.
hearing.
Rajendra, oh Emperor.
Rajendra,
Rajendra, oh,
Nridam of human society.
Nirnam,
Nranam
society,
of human society.
Santi, there are.
Santi, there are
Sahasrasha, hundreds and thousands.
Sahasrasha, hundreds and thousands.
hundreds and thousands.
Apashyatam of the blind.
Apashyatam
Apashyatam of the
of the
blind.
blind.
Atma Tattvam, knowledge of self, the ultimate truth.
Atmatattvam, knowledge of self and
Knowledge of
ultimate
self, the
truth.
ultimate truth.
Griheshu at home.
Griheshu at
Greshu
home.
at home.
Grihamedinam of persons to materially engrossed.
Grihamedinam
At home.
of
Grihamedinam of
persons
persons to material engrossed.
Translation. Though, please repeat after me. Those persons who are materially engrossed.
Those persons who are materially engrossed.
Being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth.
Being
blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth.
ultimate truth.
Have many subject matters for hearing in human society, O Emperor.
Have many
Subject matters for hearing in human
in
society,
human
O Emperor.
society, O Emperor.
Purport.
In the revealed scriptures, there are two nomenclatures for the householder's life. One is Grihastha and the other is Sir, could you please scroll down? And thus are envious of others. The word Medi indicates jealousy of others. The Griha Medis, being interested in family affairs only, are certainly envious of others. Therefore, one Griha Medi is not on good terms with another Griha Medi. And in the extended form, one community, society, or nation is not on good terms with another counterpart of selfish interest. In the age of Kali, all the householders are jealous of one another because they are blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth. They have many subject matters for hearing, political, scientific, social, economic, and so on, but due to a poor fund of knowledge, they set aside the question of the ultimate miseries of life, namely miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. So actually, the human life is meant for making an ultimate solution to birth, death, old age, and disease. But the Grihamedis, being illusioned by the material nature, forget everything about self-realization. The ultimate solution to the problems of life is to go back home, back to Godhead. And thus, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the miseries of material existence, birth, death, old age, and disease are removed. The process of going back home, back to Godhead, is to hear about the Supreme Lord and His name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, and variegatedness. Foolish people do not know this. They want to hear something about the name, form, etc. of everything temporary, and they do not know how to utilize this propensity of hearing for the ultimate good. Misguided as they are, they also create some false wishes about the name, form, attributes, etc. of the ultimate truth. One should not, therefore, become a Griyamedi simply to exist for envying others. One should become a real householder in terms of the scriptural injunction.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So very beautiful. So we were seeing in this verse how Srotavyadini, Srotavya worthwhile hearing. Why it is para sublime. Srotavyadini Rajendra Niradam Shanti Sahasrasa Apasyatam Atmatattvam Griheshu Grihamedinam. So the Bhagavatam is so exalted and transcendental knowledge that there are 18,000 verses, and if you analyze each verse, each word, you will get a great transcendental information. There is no comparison with this Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why it's called Srimad Bhagavatam Amalam Puranam. Amalam means spotless. This Puranam, this old history of the world. This is also history, of course. Just like this incident, Parikshit Maharaj was cursed by a Brahmana. He was the king, emperor of the world, and how he met his death. These things are described in the history. So, isn't it? So, this is also history, but it is not ordinary history, not history, chronological history, as we generally mean, but it is a history of the most important men in the world. Just like Parikshit Maharaj, he is the most important, at least one of the most important kings in the world. His history of death and life is historical fact. Sukadeva Goswami is saying, my dear king, Srotavyadini Rajendra Niranam Santi Sahasrasa. For ordinary men, there are many, many subject matters for hearing. Just like you see the newspaper, there are many varieties of news, but they are meant for whom? For ordinary men. They are not meant for us. We don't care for what is happening in the newspaper. At least our boys and girls and Krishna consciousness, grihastas, they don't care for these things. Although everyone is anxious to read early in the morning the newspaper, you see, this very fact is stated here, Srotavyadini. What is this newspaper? Newspaper, the Sanskrit word is Srotavyadini. Srotavya means the things which is to be heard. So, what is this newspaper? Unless there is some news, what you will hear. So, this word, very word, Srotavyadini, Pradyumna, you understand. So, those persons who are materially engrossed, being blind to the knowledge of ultimate truth, have many subject matters. So, he is addressing the king Rajendra. He was the emperor, therefore, the king of the kings, Raja Indra. So, my dear Rajendra, emperor, there are many varieties of subject matter for hearing. For whom? Niranam, for the human society. Niranam means human beings. Srotavyadini Rajendra Niranam Santi Sahasrasa. But what class of human being? Apashyatham Atma Tattvam. Those who are fools and rascals without any self-realization knowledge. For them. Okay, apashyatam. Apashyata means blind, cannot see. They have got their eyes, but they have no introspection. What is the value of life? Therefore, he says, apasyatam. Simply, they have eyes like the peacock feather. They have no introspection. Eyes means introspection. Therefore, Vedic culture says, Shastra chakshus. You should see through the Shastra. Don't try to see by these eyes. What is the value of this eye? They are conditioned in so many ways. You don't believe the eyes. See through the Shastra, through the spiritual master, through the Shastra. Try to see through this Shastra Chakshu, seeing Chakshu through Shastra. So the subject matter for hearing for the ordinary person, those who are engaged in family matters, griheshu grihamedinam. So does it mean to become a family man is bad? No, it doesn't mean that. But if you become Grihamedi, that is particularly said Griheshu, Grihamedi. Griheshu means living in family life. But in family life, there are also two classes of men, Grihastha and Grihamedi. In purport, Srila Prabhupada says. Therefore, Prabhupada says that each and every word of Srimad Bhagavatam, you will have new enlightening. So, there is a difference between Grihastha and Grihamedi. Grihamedi means just like ordinary person. Their household life means they have made the home as the center of their existence, just like we got our home, our rooms for everybody. So things are scattered. But if you go to a grahastha, you will find their apartment nicely decorated, chairs, cushions, and sitting place, but they have no vision about self. What is the use of this beautiful thing? Huh? We see that household affairs, their resting place is not so nicely decorated, but their aim is Krishna, that is what. So that is the difference between Grihamedi and Grihastha. Grihamedi means they simply want to decorate their apartment and children and wife. That is their end of their life. That's all. They have no other business. Apashyatam, blind of the value of life. Whereas the Grihastha, he is not blind about the value of his life. He is simply looking forward how to become successful Krishna conscious. So those who are blind of the point of self-realization, such householders, they've got many subject matter of hearing in the newspapers. Srotavyadini Rajendra Nridam Santi Sahasra Sahasra means thousands of subject matter. For whom Griheshu Grihamedinam, such householders who have made their aim of life to decorate their apartment, that's all. Work whole day and night and a good dress, good apartment, that's all. They think this is success. These things are there. See? So these are being pointed out here by Sukadeva Goswami, Griheshu Grihamedinam. For them, there are many thousands of news items, okay? Why they have got thousands? Now, what is their mode of life? That is explained. Their mode of life, Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami is explaining, Nidraya Hriyate Naktam, that is coming in the next verse, okay? Do we have time or shall we see tomorrow? So what kind of life they are leading? Let us see. That is in the 2.1.3. Nidraya hriyate naktam
Tadayakshayam
vyavayena cha vavaya
Yayena Chavavaya
divacharte haya rajan
Iva Chartahi Yarajan
kutumba bharanena va
Kutumba Bharane Nava
nidraya hriyate naktam
Nidrayakshayatne Naktam
vyavayena cha vavaya
Yave Nachavaya
दिवाचाते हयाराजन
Iva Charti Hajarajan
कुटुंब बरनेन वा
Kutumba Bharane Nava
निद्रया ह्रियते नक्तम्
Hridaya Hriyetak Naktam
व्यवायेन च भावय
Vyayena Chavavaya
दिवाचाते हयाराजन
दिवाचार्थे
Vivachate Hayarajan
कुटुम्बभरणेन वा.
Udumba Paranena Va
Anyone to say once?
Nidraya Kriyate Taktam
Nidaya hriyate dinaktam
Vaya Vyena Chavavaya
vyavayena chavavaya
Vivachate Hayarajan
divacharte hayarajan
Kutumba Bharanena Va
kutumbhabaranena vam. Synonyms. Nidraya, by sleeping.
Nidya
Nidraya
by
by sleeping
sleeping.
Kriyate, wastes.
Kriyate
Kriyate
Yes
Naktam, night.
Naktam
Naktam
Night
Vyavayena, sex indulgence.
Vyayena
Vyayena sex
Technologies
Should
indulgence.
also.
Shah also
Va,
Chalke.
either.
Why either
either
Via duration of life.
via
Vaya duration of
duration of
life
life.
Diva, days.
Diva
Diva
Day
day.
Che, cha, and.
Cha
Cha
and
and
Artha, economic.
Artha
Artha
economic
Haya, development.
Vaya
via
development
development.
Raja, no king.
Rajan
Rajan
Oki.
King
Kutumba, family.
Kutumba
Kutumba
family
family members.
Paranena, maintaining.
Baranena maintaining
Maintaining.
Va, either.
Va
Why
either
Translation, please repeat after me. The lifetime of such an envious householder is passed at night.
the
the
lifetime
life
of such a US householder is passed at
at
night
householder is passed at night.
Either in sleeping or in sex indulgence.
either in sleeping or in sex
Or
intelligence
in sex
And in the
indulgence.
daytime,
and in the daytime
Time
either in making money or maintaining family members.
either
either
in
in making money or
maintaining
maintaining family
family
member.
member.
Purport.
The present human civilization is primarily based on the principles of sleeping and sex indulgence at night and earning money in the day and spending the same for family maintenance. Such a form of human civilization is condemned by Bhagavat school. Because human life is a combination of matter and spirit soul, the whole process of Vedic knowledge is directed at liberating the spirit soul from the contamination of matter. The knowledge concerning this is called Atma Tattva. Those men who are too materialistic are unaware of this knowledge and are more inclined to economic development for material enjoyment. Such materialistic men are called karmis or fruitive laborers, and they are allowed regulative economic development or association of women for sex indulgence. Those who are above the karmis, that is, the jnanis, yogis, and devotees, are strictly prohibited from sex indulgence. The karmis are more or less devoid of Atma Tattva knowledge, and as such, their life is spent without spiritual profit. The human life is not meant for hard labor, for economic development, nor is it meant for sex indulgence, like that of the dogs and hogs. It is specially meant for making a solution to the problems of material life and the miseries thereof. So the karmis waste their valuable human life by sleeping and sex indulgence at night and by laboring hard in the daytime to accumulate wealth. And after doing so, they try to improve the standard of materialistic life. The materialistic way of life is described herein in a nutshell, and how foolishly men waste the boon of human life is described as follows.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Nidraya Hriyate Naktham. Just see what is their mode of life. At night, they are wasting the duration of life either by sleeping or by sex life. That's all. So, this is their business at night. Then at daytime, what is that business? At daytime, Diva Charte Haya Rajan Kutumba Barane Nava. And daytime, they're always busy. Where is money? Where is money? Where is money? Where is money? Diva charte. Arte means money. Ihaya. Ihaya. Hankering after money. Then they're getting money. Why they should waste their time? No. Nidraya. Diva charte. Haya Rajan Kutumba Baranenava. As soon as there is money, there is immediately program. How to spend it for family. Kutumba Baranenava. Kutumba means family, relatives. You see, they will spend thousands of dollars for family and relatives. But if you ask some dollars for Krishna consciousness, they are not interested. You see. So for those persons, there are varieties of material news. Nidraya hriyate naktam at night. So their life means day and night. So this is the program of their life. At night, those either sleeping or going to the nightclub or dancing club or sex life or some nonsense. That's all. Not that these things are new. These are old things. 5,000 years ago, it's written, you see. These are old things. People were accustomed to all these things only. The human nature is always like that. They are thinking modern days also. What do you mean by modern days actually? Nothing has changed. 5,000 years ago, what we had written in the Shastra is what is going on today also. Putting the old wine in new bottle, that's all. So, the practice is the same. Divacha arthahaya. So, the question is, why they are wasting their life in this way? What is the answer? That is in the next verse. So let us see the answer for this. Why they are wasting their life in this way? Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.4. Dehapatya kalatradesh.
Dehapatya kalatrane.
Atma sainyeshvastasvapi.
Atma saineshva asatvasti.
Tesham pramatho nidanam.
Tesham
Pashyannapi na pashyati.
Pashyan Abhinapashyati
Dehapatya kalatradesh.
Devapatya Karatradev
Atma sainyeshvastsvapi.
Atma Saime Kesatsavi
Tesham pramato nidanam.
Tesham Vitaram
Pashyannapi na pashyati.
Pashyan Abhinapashyati
Dehapatya kalatradesh.
Devapatya Karatradev
Atma sainyeshvastsvapi.
Atma Saime Kesatsavi
Tesham pramato nidanam.
Tesham Pramodam
Pashyannapi na pashyati.
Pashyan Abhinapashyati
Yeah, anyone recite once?
Dehapatya kalatri.
Devapatya Karatradev
Atma sainyeshvastsvapi.
Atmasainya Savasatau Tapi
Tesham pramato nidha.
Tesham pramato
Desam
nidanam.
Brahmato Niganam
Pashyannapi na
Tasyan
pashyati.
Abhinapashyati
Synonyms. Deha,
Tasyan Abhinapashyati
apatya, children. Kalatra, wife. Adishu, and in everything in relation to them.
Atma
Atma, om.
Atma own
Sainyeshu, fighting soldiers.
Sannyasi
Sainyas fighting soul
Asatsu, fallible.
Asattu fallible.
Asatsu fallible
Api, in spite of.
Api in spite of.
Abhi in spite of
Tesham, of all of them.
Tesham of all of them.
Desam of all of them
Pramatha, too attached.
Pramata too attached.
Pramata to attack
Nidanam, destruction.
Nidhanam
Nidanam
destruction.
destruction
Pashyan, having been experienced.
Passion having
Pasyam
been
having been experienced
Api, although.
Api
also
also
No, does not.
no does
no
not
does not
Pashyati, see it.
Pashyati.
Translation, please repeat after me. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva
Person
Persons
Persons devoid of Atma Tattva
do not inquire into the problems of life,
do
do
not
not
inquire into the problem of life,
of life,
being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife.
being
being
too
too attached
being
attached
too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body,
like the body,
children, and wife.
children, and wife.
Although sufficiently experienced,
Although sufficiently,
Although sufficiently experienced,
they still do not see their inevitable destruction.
they still
they
do
still
not
do not see the inevitable
see
destruction.
destruction.
Purport.
Purport. This material world is called the world of death. Every living being, beginning from Brahma, whose duration of life is some thousands of millions of years, down to the germs who live for a few seconds only, is strongly for existence. Therefore, this life is a sort of fight with material nature which imposes death upon all. In the human form of life, a living being is competent enough to come to an understanding of this great struggle for existence, but being too attached to family members, society, country, etc. He wants to win over the invincible material nature by the aid of bodily strength, children, wife, relatives, etc. Although he is sufficiently experienced in the matter by dint of past experience and previous examples of his disease predecessors, he does not see that the so-called fighting soldiers like the children, relatives, society members and countrymen are all fallible in the great struggle. One should examine the fact that his father or his father's father has already died and that he himself is therefore also sure to die, and similarly his children who are the would be fathers of their children will also die in due course. No one will survive in this struggle with material nature. The history of human society definitely proves it. Yet the foolish people will suggest that in the future they will be able to live perpetually with the help of material science. This poor fund of knowledge exhibited by human society is certainly misleading, and it is all due to ignoring the constitution of the living soul. The material world exists only as a dream due to our attachment to it. Otherwise, the living soul is always different from the material nature. The great ocean of material nature is tossing with the waves of time, and the so-called living conditions are something like foaming bubbles which appear before us as bodily self, wife, children, society, countrymen, etc. Due to a lack of knowledge of self, we become victimized by the force of ignorance and thus spoil the valuable energy of human life in a vain search after permanent living conditions which are impossible in this material world. Our friends, relatives, and so-called wives and children are not only fallible but also bewildered by the outward glamour of material existence. As such, they cannot save us still we think that we are safe within the orbit of family, society, or country. The whole materialistic advancement of human civilization is like the decoration of a dead body. Everyone is a dead body flapping only for a few days, and yet all the energy of human life is being wasted in the decoration of this dead body. Sukdev Goswami is pointing out the duty of the human being after showing the actual position of bewildered human activity. Persons who are devoid of the knowledge of Atma Tattva are misguided, but those who are devotees of the Lord and have perfect realization of transcendental knowledge are not bewildered.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Dehapatya Kalatradishva Atma Sanyeshvasas Swapi Tesham Prabhuto Nidanam Pashyannapi Napashyati. Dehapatya. Deha means this body. And apatya means Dehapatya Kalatra. Kalatra means wife. Dekapatya Kalatradishu Atma Sainyeshu. Just like a nation thinks himself well protected when the nation has got good defense measure. Similarly, an ordinary man, he thinks that if I got strong built body and very faithful wife and nice children, then I am saved. Like that he is thinking. Dehapatya Kalatradishu. And after this means some good bank balance, some landed property, security, these things. One person accepts they will give me protection. They will give. I am now well protected. I got nice children. I got nice wife. I have got good bank balance. I have got so many properties. So why shall I go to Krishna consciousness? I am well protected. These, nowadays. So those who have no bank balance, those who have no home, they should go to Krishna conscious. Just see, they are blind. How they are blind? They are thinking that these things will give him protection. Pramatha means crazy. By craziness, he is thinking that these things will give me protection. No. Tesham pramato nidanam pashyannapi na pashyati. Because he is crazy, he doesn't see to the destruction of these things. Although he is seeing others, that they are being destroyed every moment. My father has died. Naturally, I shall also die. Naturally, my sons also will die. So why I am so much anxious of protecting this family? Everyone will die. Pashyannapi na pashyati. They see, but still they don't see. They see daily that I am working so hard for these things, but these things will be destroyed. As it has been destroyed previously in the history. So many empires were destroyed. The British Empire destroyed, Roman Empire destroyed, Egyptian Empire destroyed. Parikshit Maharaj, he was the emperor of the whole world. So these things, Pashyannapi na pashyati, they see that they cannot give me protection. When I shall be called for death, I don't know. Just like Parikshit Maharaj. He is preparing at the time, all these, my soldiers, my bank balance, my good wife, my good children, my good countrymen, nobody can give me any protection. Just like when you have to fly in the sky, you have to protect yourself. No, others can protect you. Take it for the birds or for the aeroplanes. If you are being crushed into the airplane, no other aeroplane can protect you. You will have to come down from the sky. Similarly, when death will come, none of you will be able to give me protection. Either my good state or my good family or my good bank balance or good this or good that. That's all. Everything is finished. So Sukadeva Goswami giving right instruction to Parikshit Maharaj. Then what should be the subject matter? The so-called rascaldom news, they are not meant for hearing. Therefore, he will conclude in the very next words. Let us see the conclusion of Sukadeva Goswami. What is that we have to hear? he is telling in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2.1.5. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma
तस्मात् भारत
Ah,
सर्वात्मा
Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari
भगवान
Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari
Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha
श्रोतव्य
Stotavya Kirtitavyasya
Smartavyasche Chatha Bayan
Smartavya Chechatabhyam
Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma
Tasmat
तस्मात्
Bharata
भारत
Sarvatma
सर्वात्मा
Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari
Bhagavan
भगवान
Ishvaro
ईश्वरो
Hari
हरि
Srotavya Kirtitavyascha
श्रोतव्य
Stotavya Kirtitavyasya
Smartavyasche Chatha Byam Abhayam
Smartavya
अस्मर्तस्य
Chechatabhyam
चेच्छताभयम्
Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma
तस्मात्
Tasmat Bharata
भारत सर्वात्मा
Sarvatma
Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari
भगवान
Bhagavan Ishvaro
ईश्वरो
Hari
हरि
Srotavya Kirtitavyascha
श्रोतव्य
Stotavya
कीर्तितव्यश्च
Kirtitavyasya
Smartavyasche Chatha Byam.
Smartavya
अस्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छताभयम्
Chechatabhyam
Anyone please recite once.
तस्मात् भारत सर्वात्मा
Tasmat
Tasmat Bharata
Sarvatma
Sarvatma
भगवान ईश्वरो हरि
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
Ishvaro
Ishvaro Hari
Hari
श्रोतव्य कीर्तिस्तव्यश्च
Srotavya
Stotavya
Kirtitavyascha
Kritite
अस्मर्तव्यश्चेच्छताभयम्
Smartavya
Smartavyasche Chatha
Chechatabhyam.
Byam. If anybody has not broken the Parana, Dodasi Parana, please do break it immediately. Translation, please repeat after me. O descendant of King Bharata,
O descendant of
descendant of
King
King
Bharata,
Bharata,
one who desires to be free from all miseries,
one
one who
who
desires to be free from all
from
miseries,
all miseries
must hear about,
must
must
hear
hear about,
about,
glorify,
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 and also remember
and
and also
also
remember
remember
the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries.
the personality of Godhead, who is the
God
super
who
soul,
is the
controller,
super
and
soul, the
savior from
controller
all
and
miseries.
the savior from all misery.
Purport.
In the in the previous verse, Sri Sukadeva Goswami has described how the foolish materially attached men are wasting their valuable time in the improvement of the material conditions of life by sleeping, indulging in sex life, developing economic conditions, and maintaining a band of relatives who are to be vanquished in the air of scroll of
Oblivion.
oblivion. Being engaged in all these materialistic activities, the living soul entangles himself in the cycle of the law of fruitive actions. This entails the chain of birth and death in the 84 lakh spices of life. The aquatics, the vegetables, the reptiles, the birds, the beasts, the uncivilized man, and then again the human form, which is the chance for getting out of the cycle of fruitive action. Therefore, if one desires freedom from the vicious circle, then one must choose to act as vessels of one's own work, good or bad. One should not do anything, either good or bad, on its own account, but must execute everything on behalf of the Supreme Lord, the ultimate proprietor of everything that be. This process of doing work is recommended in the Bhagavad Gita 9.27, also where instruction is given for working on the Lord's account. Therefore, one should first of all hear about the Lord. When one has perfectly and scrutinizingly heard, one must glorify his acts and deeds. and thus it will become possible to remember constantly the transcendental nature of the Lord. Hearing about glorifying the Lord are identical with transcendental nature of the Lord, and by so doing, one will be always in the association of the Lord. This brings freedom from all sorts of fear. The Lord is the super soul, Paramatma, present in the hearts of all living beings, and thus by the above hearing and glorifying process, the Lord invites the association of all in creation. This process of hearing about and glorifying the Lord is applicable for everyone, whoever he may be, and it will lead one to the ultimate success in everything in which one may be engaged by providence. There are many classes of human beings: the fruitive workers, the empiric philosophers, the mystic yogis, and ultimately the unalloyed devotees. For all of them, one and the same process is applicable for achieving their desired success. Everyone wants to be free from all kinds of fear, and everyone wants the fullest extent of happiness in life. The perfect process for achieving this here and now is recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is uttered by such a great authority of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. By hearing about and glorifying the Lord, by the Lord, all all a person's activities become molded into spiritual activities, and thus all conceptions of material miseries becomes completely vanquished. Haribo.
Hari Om Tatsat. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyasche Chatha Bhayam. So, Ichata Abhayam. Abhayam. Abhaya means fear, and Abhayam means fearlessness. So, if one is actually expecting that he should be protected, Abhayam, there should be no more anything of fearfulness. Then, to Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami is instructing that Tasmat, because these things, if you simply divert your attention to the varieties of newspaper or any other information of this world, which is full of this Grahamedi, whose business is to sleep at night, work hard at daytime, and that will not give any protection, then what I have to do? You have to hear about Bhagavan, Hari, Ishvara, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. Bharata, because Parikshit Maharaj happened to be a descendant of the Kuru dynasty. The Kuru dynasty was begun from King Bharata. Bharata. So, there are two Bharata Maharaj. You don't confuse that. Okay. The Bharatas in the history of Vedic literature, one Bharata is Lord Ramachandra's brother, younger brother. So, his mother, Bharata's mother, wanted to make Bharata king. Therefore, by palace diplomacy, Ramachandra was sent to the forest, but his brother Bharata declined. No, his mother wanted that my son should be king. There were three wives of Maharaja Dasharatha, as you know. So this is one Bharata. He was faithful to his brother, but by his mother's diplomacy, Lord Ramachandra was sent to the forest. So this is one celebrated Bharata. Another Bharata is the forefathers of the Kuru dynasty. His name is also Bharata. And another Bharata was the son of King Rishabhadeva, who is Jada Bharata, by whose name this planet is called Bharatavarsha. So this whole planet is called Bharatavarsha. So he is addressing Parishit Maharaj as the descendant of King Bharata. Bharata, he, hey Bharata, you have to talk and hear about Sarvatma, the super soul, who is sitting in everyone's heart. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, full with all opulences. Bhagavan, this word, every word suggests volumes of meaning. And Hari, who can take away all your suffering. Ishvara, he is the controller, supreme controller. So instead of diverting your attention to the varieties of newspaper of this world, you just try. No, not try. You must. You must. Sarvatma Haririshwara. What is that? Srotavya. Always hear about him. Srotavya, kirtitavyascha, kirtana, hearing then preaching. Therefore, we have got our kirtan. So, kirtavya, kirtitavya, who will now preach? Kirtitavya, hearing and then preaching. So, first, after hearing, the next stage is spreading, pushing on the news of Krishna. First of all, hearing and then kirtitavya, spreading. That is why it is called a movement, Hare Krishna movement. You keep pushing what you hear to others. And smartavya means thinking always, because before you speak, you have to think what you are speaking, right? So that is smaranam. So what you will preach, you hear, you think of it, and then you speak that. So this is called preaching. This is called Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. All three are there inside. So this is the business. Smartavya kirtitavyascha srotavya, for whom ichata akuto bayam, ichata abhayam, those who are actually seeking protection, not this protection, that your bank balance, your good wife, this and that. No. They will not give you protection anyway. So Parikshit Maharaj was advised by Sukadeva Goswami, his spiritual master. This is your business at the point of death. So not only at the point of death, you cannot take to this business all of a sudden, even if it is advised. You have to practice it. Just like you cannot become a good soldier on the battlefield. You have to be trained yourself before going to the battle, military training. So this Krishna consciousness movement is training. ISKCON is giving training before you ultimately meet death, fight with. So this is the advice given by Sukadeva Goswami, and we shall take this advice equally well as Parikshit Maharaj took it. Thank you very much. So we'll continue tomorrow, sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam. If anybody has any questions or comments or realization, please do share with us. 5, 4, 3.
प्रभु गृह मेधी क्या होता है?
ग्रह मेधी मतलब ग्रह जो शादीशुदा बाल बच्चे के साथ जो रहते हैं लेकिन कृष्ण भावनामृत में नहीं है, वो ग्रह मेधी होता है.
धन्यवाद प्रभु.
Non-devotee.
Non-devotee. Non-devotee married.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So we will reach Shubhar Bhagavatam class tomorrow morning sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Patita Pawan Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय.
Vishnu Pranam.
वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Sindhubhya eva
Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha.
Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Nityananda Premanande Hari.